Baby, can you slip away this afternoon? Coast is clear, wanna see you real soon. Things ain't working out where you planned.
Well, you'll notice that on some of the swing moves, and you'll notice this in anybody who does them almost, that there is sometimes a little bit of a lead like this, a little side-to-side lead, especially on something like a tuck turn or on one of the outside turn, right? So that little movement made me notice that it's making her almost do the same thing as ochos. So by extending that idea, you can then connect the tango into all of the swing moves, because all of the swing moves have this type of movement. And if you extend it so that we're basically doing ochos, you end up getting more connection because you're getting connections on the side of the slot instead of just at the ends of the slot. And it actually makes your swing moves better because they're counterbalancing or countering the main parts of the swing moves, which is like the underarm turns or the tuck turn movement. Those all have those in them inherently to begin with. So all of the swing moves that we showed you, the sugar push or the push break, if I do this, normally I would try to get this double hand hold for that, and you can do that by just doing a normal swing move and catching the hand. And then once I have that, I can then lead her to step more with ochos. And if we're doing them exactly the same as the swing moves, I would just do step, step. Now if I'm doing the push break, it's just going to be here and sending her back out again. Again, I'll just do it with the one hand. I can still do that. I'm turning her, step, step, triple, step, step. Now we could triple at the end, but we could also lead her to just step to the side. But by putting in this movement, then we can start putting the tango into the swing. Tuck turn. Okay? If we want to triple, fine. If we don't, the important thing is, in order for me to do these movements, which are leading weight changes, which is very different than in the standard swing moves. Standard swing moves, all I do is get her moving in a particular direction. So when you're doing any of these swing moves, you can add this type of movement in here to connect the tango into it. You're going to have to make a choice because you need to lead her weight changes when you're doing the tango part of it. So I have to make sure that I put her on that foot and that I continue the lead in the right direction to make her cross her feet in order to do these ochos. And then I throw the swing movements in there at some point. Underarm turn would look like this. For my footwork, I can do this. I can do the ochos too. I can step back with an ocho while she steps forward with an ocho. I can cross, and I'm moving her in the same direction, so she's going to continue in the way that I want her. And then I want to pull her forward for an underarm turn, so I'm going to get out of the way by stepping out of the slot with the standard triple. Triple step. And then if I want to continue leading weight changes rather than doing a triple at the end, I'll shift her with just a single step onto the other foot. Then I can very easily take her into the ochos again. Step, step, I step out of the slot, triple step, same as standard swing, and then I'll shift her to continue the weight changes. Or we'll triple and we'll go back to swing, whichever one we want to do. Now once you get this, you'll be able to start seeing that you can do these also enclosed. and they become even more like tango. So if I go and do a tango forward ocho here, and I cross, but I bring her forward again, I'm in a position where I can triple step around and basically do an underarm turn, but I go back to close. And then if I want to continue with tango, I'm going to shift her, just like we do with the blues and the tango, side step, and then I can continue with the ocho. Step, step. This time I want to do a tuck turn, triple step. Now if I want to make sure that she stays close to me and doesn't go out, I need to, especially on the tuck turn, I need to pull her close. Otherwise she's going to go out here and I won't be able to catch her. It's a little harder on the tuck turn. With the underarm turn, it's easy for me to catch her and keep her in close. Now with a whip, same thing. If I'm doing a whip in open, with this same method, step, step, triple step, step. Now if I want to stay in tango, I'm actually going to put my feet together and step out. This will keep me with her. And this is a little bit of change on the whip. I would come here, step, and turn. So this is moving it away from swing, closer to tango, but it's still keeping some of the basic swing movements in there. This particular one with the whip is the hardest, but you can do this entirely enclosed. This is the same, step, step, triple step, turning, just like we do to send her out in the whip, step, step. I'm changing my footwork so that I can go with her with the standard guy footwork there. If I want to do that again, it would be like this. Again, step. I can bring her forward. I can go out with me doing ochos. So again, once you get to where you're feeling comfortable with the tango, you can do a lot of these movements that are actually the same as the swing movements, only I've tango-fied them. And once you start mixing them up, then I can start with a whip and switch to tango. And that really requires that you lead it properly, because again, it's that little lift. If we're just doing swing, this feels like swing to her. I have to do, and I'm exaggerating here so you can see it, I have to make sure that I lift right here that tells her, we're not doing a standard swing send out here. I'm actually controlling her weight at that point. We're going into tango at that point. So that little subtle lead, and you don't really, from outside, it shouldn't be, you can't see it, but she's going to feel that, and that'll make all the difference when you start mixing these dances up.
Take it all well, all you gotta do